Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Season 4 in the SPL, the Almost Any Ability Draft League. My name is CBAD, coach of the Detroit Steelings, and we are taking on my guy, Numb Nexus. They always put us together week one, probably because they know it's about to be the best battle of the week. But all that being said, leave a like if you're excited. Subscribe if you're new. There'll be some text floating somewhere on screen in post-production. If you guys do want to hop right on ahead of the battle, I always recommend you guys watch the Teambuilder, especially in this draft league, so you guys know what I'm bringing, why I'm bringing it, and so you guys know that his abilities. So, a little incentive to watch the Teambuilder because we got some crazy mons we're going into this week. Nexus team is absolutely scary. I'm really looking forward to it. He had first pick overall. So he might know what he's doing. He might not. I don't know what I'm doing. So we're going to have some fun this week. You guys are going to start to see some teams appear on screen right about now. Nexus has a team that consists of Chien-Pao, Ursaluna, Skarmory, Primarina, Azelf, Slitherwing, Thundurus, Vileplume, Alolan Sandslash, and Bayonet. Some things to note about Nexus's team before we hop into some of the abilities here. If I can find my spreadsheet in which I have notes taken here, I don't. All right, we're going to open that up. So let's talk about the team overall really quickly so we can recap some of those abilities. On Chien-Pao, he does have the adaptability ability, boosting the Ice and Dark type moves by 2 times instead of 1.5 times. He also has the Magic Guard ability, so he can only be damaged by direct attacks. Ursaluna has the stamina ability. I think it's a really solid ability on there, being able to boost its defense every time it takes a hit. It also has the Vessel of Ruin, or I guess I should specify, it also can have the Vessel of Ruin ability. You can't have both of them. You have to pick one or the other during the battle. Vessel of Ruin is Ting-Lu's ability, lowering the special attack of all Pokemon on the field. He's got Skarmory, has the Intimidate ability, so we both have our own Steel Flying types with Intimidate, whereas this Skarmory, he went with the second ability, Well-Baked Body, giving it a fire immunity, so it is only weak to electric type moves, and I think that pairs very nicely with something like the Ursaluna. Primarina has the Regenerator ability, so it's able to take a hit, flip, turn out, get some health back. It also has Volt Absorb, making it so that it is only weak to Poison and Grass, if I'm not mistaken. So again, pairing very nicely with Skarmory. I think it's a very solid defensive trio he's got there. Azelf has access to Psychic Surge or Sheer Force. Psychic Surge setting up the Psychic Train, boosting those Psychic type moves on 125 base special attack. Very fast Pokemon as well. Sheer Force is giving those moves that have a secondary effect an additional 30% buff at the sake of removing those secondary effects. You compare it with the Life Orb, it gets pretty crazy. Slitherwing has the Tinted Lens ability, so if you normally resist any move that it goes for, you don't resist it anymore, which is gross on 135 base attack. Also has the Scrappy ability, so that way those close combats, things along those lines, can hit both normal and ghost-type Pokemon. He's got Thundurus Incarnate. This has the Primordial Sea ability. It's able to reset all the weather. It's also able to set up auto rain for it, so it can just drop Thunders coming off 125 special attack. It also has the Beads of Ruin ability, which is Chiyu's signature ability, lowering the special defense of Pokemon across from it. Vileplume has the access to the Prankster ability, so things like Prankster, Strength Sap, Toxic, Leech Seed, things along those lines. It also has the Corrosion ability, which is Salazzle's signature ability, being able to Toxic any Pokemon regardless of type, and being a Poison type, it'll always connect those Toxic, so it doesn't matter if you have a Steel type or a Poison type, they too can get the work and get badly poisoned. He's got the Alolan Sandslash. It has the Sturdy ability. I don't know how I feel about that one in particular, but he's a better battler than I, so I'm sure there's a reason for it. But it does have the Flash Fire ability. It's got a 4 times weakness to fire, so having that Flash Fire ability can be very beneficial in a pinch. Then the last Pokemon he has is Bayonet. Bayonet is kind of a slow Pokemon, hits pretty hard with 115 base attack. It has the Shadow Shield ability, so that way at full health, it is not taking as much damage. I believe it's half damage from full health. But then it also has the Technician ability with a lot of moves that are in that lower bracket of damage. Those are going to get boosted, so I can expect things like Prankster or Technician boosted Shadow Snake and things along those lines. As far as the overall matchup into the team itself goes, when we take a look at it from like a speed tier wise, he does have the Chien-Pao that's going to be faster than absolutely everything on my side of the field. We do have some fast mons that we have access to with things like Jolteon, with things like Iron Leaves. He could expect something like Surge Surfer coming in. So there's definitely some opportunity there. Chien-Pao does outpace Jolteon by about 5 or so points base speed-wise. But we do outslow him with things like Mudsdale and Capraja if we want to bring him. So those are some fun facts about his team. He's got some cool hazard setters with things like Skarmory and Alolan Sandslash. But I've also got some entry hazards of my own, which is going to be fun, so I'm looking forward to it. So the first Pokemon that we're leading off with, I think this has a lot of potential. I think just there's not too much in means of Pokemon that really want to take a hit from this thing. I think the only Pokemon that I can see on his team that truly wants to take a hit from this thing is the Skarmory. We're bringing Nurtle Bloom, the Iron Leaves. Now they're holding their expert belt. We're running Sharpness this week because the blade moves go crazy. And that might be a downfall on my end to bring Sharpness over Surge Surfer so we can outspeed, but the damage output potential is nuts. I mean, if I were looking, I don't have the calcs pulled up anymore. We were running calcs and we were prepping for this. It's gross. Leaf Blade, Side Blade, Sacred Sword, and Protect. We have max attack output, 80 EVs in defense, 176 in speed with an Adamant Nature. With this spread, we're outspeeding everything we possibly can. So everything but Chien-Pao, Azelf, and Thunderous by 1 point. The moves go crazy. We're bringing Protect in case of First Impression Slitherwing, just in case some of my more frail mons do have access to Protect, just to make sure we don't take that. But we also have, the potential that he brings his own Psychic Terrain, which turns off the First Impression, so we're going to see exactly what happens there. But Leaf Blade, Side Blade, Sacred Sword go crazy into Nexus's team. We're looking forward to seeing how this matchup turns out. Next up, we're bringing Iron Warden the Corviknight. He's holding his Light Clay with the Prankster ability. We have Defog, Light Screen, U-Turn, and Tailwind. 248 EVs in HP, max defense investment, and 8 EVs in special defense with an Impish Nature. I don't think there's really too much to say about this. Corviknight's role here is to support however it can, whether that is a Prankster Defog, getting away something like rocks, getting away some of the spikes that he has access to, a light screen in the face of Azelf, Thunderous, and Primarina if we so need it. We've got U-Turn, the ability to take a hit and pivot out, and then we also have Prankster Tailwind, which is why I'm not super concerned with something like the Surge Surfer on the Iron Leaves. You think about setting the terrain, it's up for 5 turns. We get the Surge. By the time we switch in and get the Surge Surfer up, we have about 3 or 4 turns left, and sometimes that pivoting can be a little bit awkward. I think Tailwind's just as fine, and it's also going to support the rest of our team and not just Iron Leaves. So being able to get that up, we'll get a little bit of a faster U-turn off, obviously, because the Tailwind is there. If he does have a little bit of a faster Pokemon, even double speed, we're not going to outspeed things like Chien-Pao, Azelf, and Thunderous. So being able to get that Tailwind off and then switch into another Pokemon can be pretty beneficial to the cause. Next up, Crimson Claw, the Infernape. He's holding his Life Orb with the No Guard ability. We have Gunk Shot, Fire Blast, Focus Blast, and Vacuum Wave. We have 24 EVs in HP, 180 in attack, 164 in special attack, 140 in speed with a Naive Nature. What does this do for us? So at 140 in speed with a Naive Nature, we're hitting 315 speed. So we're outspeeding things like a bulky Thunderous if he does want to go that route, and everything below, Slitherwing, Skarmory, etc., etc. If he does run no speed Chien-Pao and bulky Azelf, we'll outspeed those, but I could see maybe like a bulky setup Thunderous if he does want to bring that. But other than that, we're hitting, similar speed tier of hitting a lot of the things on the lower end of the spectrum there. Fire Blast and Gunk Shot, so 180 EVs in attack with Gunk Shot. Most of the time, unless it is a max defensive Primarina, most of the time we're getting a one-shot on that, which is great. That could be a very, very nice switch into Infernape. The other 164 EVs are tossed into special attack for Fire Blast and Focus Blast. We're able to nuke things like the Skarmory. Even Skarmory is potentially 2-hit, 3-hit KO'd by Focus Blast, depending on where it ends, if it is the well-baked body set. Fire Blast is doing great damage if it doesn't get resisted. Focus Blast and Fire Blast are both being able to hit things like the Ursaluna and the Vileplume, which is great. And lastly, we've got Vacuum Wave for Chien-Pao. Chien-Pao is super fast, has that 4 times weakness to fighting, so if we can toss a Vacuum Wave off and put it down, so be it. Next Pokemon we are bringing is Tide Reaver, the Hisuian Samurott. Now, he's holding an Assault Vest with the Adaptability ability, Ceaseless Edge, Liquidation, Flip Turn, and Knockoff. We have max EVs in HP, 160 in Special Defense, 96 in Speed with a Jolly Nature. We are outspeeding things like Alolan Sandslash and Bayonet by 1 point if they're running max speed. We are outrunning Skarmory as well if it is pretty fast, and we actually have enough speed to where if it's not a super, super fast Slitherwing, we can outspeed that as well. Ceaseless Edge, able to get our spikes up. Liquidation, just a very strong, hard-hitting water move. Some people may think, why not Razor Shell? Well, because we're not running Sharpness, I wanted the strongest hitting physical water move that we could get, which is going to be Liquidation. Flip Turn is great for the pivoting momentum, and then Knockoff is always great for items on the top of Adaptability. Always being able to remove those items and just strong, hard-hitting moves are always great. Next up, Thunderstep the Jolteon, holding the Heavy Duty Boots with the Hadron Engine ability. We have Thunderbolt, Baton Pass, Shadow Ball, and Volt Switch. We have 120 EVs in HP, 252 in Special Attack, 136 in Speed with a Timid Nature. With this spread, we are outspeeding the Thunderous and the Azelf and below. Chien-Pao is the only Pokemon that does not outspeed us. Thunderbolt and Shadow Ball go really nicely into the team unless it's an immunity. I do have Volt Switch for the pivot momentum there. Things like the Primarina and the Ursaluna can hardwall us on the switch. That's why I have Baton Pass there as that extra move. Hadron Engine is going to boost up our damage output by an additional 30%, 33%, which is great while the Electric Terrain is active. I also wanted to bring this because if he does bring the Psychic Terrain on Azelf, I want an opportunity to be able to reset that and keep that terrain here on my court. Last but not least, we're bringing Aethervel the Gardevoir. Now, she is holding her choice specs with the Tinted Lens ability. We have Moonblast, Psychic, Destiny Bond, and Mystical Fire. 32 EVs in defense, 252 in special attack, 224 in speed with a modest nature. With this spread, we are outspeeding Alolan Sandslash and below, bulky Slitherwing, normal Skarmories, things along those lines we're also able to outspeed. Tinted Lens, again, goes crazy. If you were going to resist a Moonblast before, guess what? You don't anymore, and off of choice specs, max special attack output, that's going to be huge. This is another Pokemon that can really abuse Corviknight's Tailwind, just being able to outspeed everything. Being able to get a Destiny Bond off on some Pokemon that might otherwise be problematic for the team could also be very beneficial to us. Moonblast and Psychic go really nicely into each other. Mystical Fire is nice in case there is anything like a, Mystic Power, Azelf, something like that, where it gets a special attack boost. We can go for those Mystical Fires and drop the special attack. Same thing with Primarina. It's no longer resisting the Mystical Fire, so it is a neutral hit on there, and we're able to drop that thing special attack, which could be good. Things like Vileplume as well. So that is going to be the team. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys at the battle. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to week number 1 in SPL Season 4. My name is CBAD, coach of the Detroit Steelings. We're taking on my GOAT, Nexus. Looking forward to this. If you guys missed the team builder, you guys see the 6 that I am bringing on screen. Leave a like if you're excited, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you guys at team preview. We're here with week number 1 going up against Nexus. I'm so looking forward to this. It's a brand new format for me, so we're going to see exactly how well it goes. As always, I think I got the 6 that we need to take him on. Looking at our beautiful icons as always, and we're getting ready to hop into team preview here. I definitely think Chimpao is going to come to play. Like that's a no-brainer. I think Ursa Skarm Primarina is so gross. I think he's got to. I think he's got to bring him. Let's say our good luck, have funs. Minimize Discord so I'm not distracted. But I definitely think that he's got some potential for some heat. But I've got counter heat. Counter heat. That's mirror code unless it's a physical move. Then I've got counter heat. Otherwise, I've got mirror code heat. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, prep complete. Let's see what we got. No, Ursa's crazy. Okay, so we see the Skarmory. We see Azelf, we see Thundy, we see Primarina, Slitherwing, and Chienpao. Okay, I'm glad I was thinking about changing up Iron Leaves set because I really was like, what if Slitherwing doesn't show up? And, you know, of course, this is when it shows up. So Volt Absorb on Primarina is really the only check for Jolteon, assuming it's not Regenerator. I don't mind... I don't hate leading off with, there's no hazard removal on his side of the field, so I don't mind leading off with Tide Reaver. Taking a hit and going from there. So let's see what we can do. Big damage, big spikes. Ground immunities. Well, no, not ground immunities, because Azelf doesn't have Levitate, but Skarmory and Thundy, native ground immunities. So that's something, but we'll get spikes damage off on everything else after a Ceaseless Edge, so I am... nervous as always, but I think this. So looking at his team, so I think Thundy. So in mocks, like Scarf, Primordial Sea, Thundy with like Weather Ball and Thunder went pretty hard. Could be Psychic Surge on Azelf to overwrite my Hadron Engine. So we'll see what he wants to do there. We got the face cards. All right, let's see what we got. What are we leading off with, brother? What do you got for me? Hey, it's me, that guy you were just watching, here to tell you that this video is sponsored by Advance. As a dad, somebody who works full-time, as a husband, as somebody who runs 2 YouTube channels and live streams, I don't have enough time in the day, but I can make the most out of my time with just a little bit of help from one of the best products on the market. Advance has a bunch of different lines of products, including their Focus Blend, which just came out with a new flavor, Peach Rings. It's fantastic. That helps me power through my editing, helps me get up early in the morning, helps me stay up late at night to crack out all the content that you deserve while still being the best I can be around the house. They also have a hydration line as well for those of you, and I'm looking for it on my desk, those of you who aren't looking for any sort of caffeinated products but still want to make sure that you're being the best self that you can be. I love the hydration. I'm currently drinking some Peach Mango right now. Just got my Joey Poke-Aim shaker filled with that, trying out the Peach Rings Focus, and then also I'm very excited to try White Gummy Bear and Strawberry Lemonade Focus as well. It is a caffeinated product, so if you're under the age of 18, consult a parent or guardian before purchasing. Otherwise, click the link in my bio or head to usecodecbad.com to try yours today. Big thank you to Advance for sponsoring this video. Now back to Pokemon. Slitherwing off rip. Bad lead for me. Wow. Okay. Okay, calm down, relax. Relax. Okay. I'm going Corby. I'm going Corby. I'm not playing the game. We'll find out right now. First impression do about 14 to 17 to me. If that's what he's got. If it's Tinted Lens. Just goes for U-turn. That could be. That could be it. Did about 11% to me. Okay, so Tinted Lens for sure on this guy. Did not want to... Didn't go for Scrappy. Didn't go for Scrappy for the Petron. Okay. Thundy, I feel like could come in here for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely positively. Bleeko. Yep, Thundy. Okay. With the Primordial Sea. Okay, yep. Yep. Okay, so I have options here. I have Sakamon. I have Sakamon. I have Light Screen or Tailwind to get this here. I think I want to go for Primarina, Thundy. Let's get the Tailwind up so we can immediately start threatening things with some of our team. Let's go for that. We get the Prankster Tailwind off. Knocks me out here with the Thunder. Yep, okay. Beautiful. Okay. That's fine by me. Because I want to say I can come in here now with Iron Leaves. Go for a big Psyblade into this thing. 96 to 113. I feel like Skarmory is a very easy switch here. Heavy Rain is lifted. Demon 1. Yep, there's Skarmory. No Intimidate, so it's Well-Baked Body. Okay. Okay, that's fine with me. Rocky Helmet. Okay. If we're going to play the game, I'm going to go back out into Tide Reaver here. If we're going to play that game with spikes and all that good stuff. I'm going to get a Ceaseless Edge off because I'm going to start breaking some sashes. We've got the Mach Punch. I want to hold on to the Mach Punch in the back for the Chien-Pao. I feel like it's a good middle ground, expecting any sort of hazards. Yep, there's the spikes. Okay. Okay, that's fine with me because we're going to get a big adaptability Ceaseless Edge off here. You can get spikes up. I can get spikes up. Tomato, tomato, potato, potato. Me Spika, you Spika, he, she, we Spika. Knockoff's also not a bad play, but I do want to get at least one of those spikes up to match it. So let's see what you got for me. Chip. I'll take a little Rocky Helmet damage. That's fine. We'll get a spike up. Goes a long way. Here's the Brave Bird. Okay, that's fine. You can take a little recoil. I'm going to go on ahead and knock off that helmet. Tailwind petered out. That's a little unfortunate, but we can still play to our strengths. We can still play to our outs here. Big knockoff here. Get rid of the helmet for something else to be able to hurt this thing later on. I'm really surprised at no Ursaluna, quite honestly. Yep, get rid of that. Goes for Roost. Okay, Spikes, Brave Bird, Roost, blank. But now I get to pretty much just go for Ceaseless Edges. We're just going to play a game with like full stacks of spikes here. And I've got just enough speed, I believe, to outpace... Yeah, we just saw that with the... Yeah, I've got enough speed for this thing. So I'll just go for another set of spikes here. See what we can make happen. We're down to about half. Okay. If I can keep some chip damage on it too, Infernape goes crazy. There's another layer of spikes. And I think let's just flip turn here. Flip turn, we'll try to bring in Jolteon. Ooh, nice little chip. Nice little chip. Okay. Bring in Jolteon here. The Volt Absorb Primarina is a very nice switch into this. Undoubtedly. There's the Brave Bird. Ooh, doesn't even go for the last layer. Okay, cool. We're going to take that. A little bit of recoil there. Now, Shadow Ball takes this thing out, but how much is Shadow Ball doing to the Primarina as well is what I want to understand. To something like max HP, Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball's not doing too much here. So let's just go for the Baton Pass here. I feel like you might keep this thing around. Yep. Here comes Goldilocks, Primarina. Primarina. All right. Are you Boots? You are not Boots, but you are Volt Absorb switching into this. You are 100% Volt Absorb switching into this. So, I like going into Infernape and clicking Gunk Shot here every time. Absolutely every time. The Thunder Punch in the terrain could scare you out. But I'm going for that Life Orb Gunk Shot, baby. I'm going for that Life Orb Gunk Shot, baby. Get out of here. What are you going into? Skarmory. Okay. So we're going to be able to take this thing down with a Focus Blast, which I like. Big old Focus Blast here. Should knock this thing out. No ghost types. There we are. All right. Blood has been drawn on both sides, and we're even on the spike situation. We are even Steven on the spike situation here. What wants to come in now is the question. Azelf? Would Azelf show its hand? Thundy? Thundy could come out here pretty nicely. Beast Boost would have gone crazy to give me the speed drop, the speed boost here, but then I'd need to actually hit my moves. You know, that's the downside. And having like a flying type that is also sets the range just kind of like just checks and sits in front of Infernape. But that Gunk Shot's still doing numbers though. Mudsdale would have been great for this Thundurus now that I think about it with Primordial Sea. Water Absorb. Like just, it would have been just a firm check. Here comes Twizzy. Twizzy's the Azelf. Okay. Twizzy the Azelf. Gonna take spikes. All right, you're not Psychic Surge, so you are Sheer Force. Okay. We're going to swap into Samurott here. We're going to get a little bit more knowledge about the team. We're going to swap in here. Take the Psychic or whatever. But probably going down to a coverage move, I would imagine. But the good news is we can go out into Jolteon after that and just click Shadow Ball. There's a Psychic. Ooh, okay. Electricity disappears from the battlefield. That's fine. Now, would you be like Scarf Sheer Force or would you be Life Orb Sheer Force? I don't have the Sucker Punch, so I'm just going to flip turn. He hasn't seen my 4th move yet, so he could fear the Sucker Punch. If I have the Sucker Punch, that's a dead Azelf. Yep, withdraws. Okay, so we made the right play there. In comes the Primarina, which is great. Get a little bit more spikes damage off here. Beautiful. I think you can come in now and just click Leaf Blade a few times, right? Is that the safest play though? Psyblade does like 75 to 89. Yeah, let's just go for the Leaf Blade. Let's take our kill where we can. We're gonna hit something pretty hard. We've got a pretty bulky special defense stat too, so if Dundee comes in, I'm curious what it wants to do to like revenge me here. That Slitherwing's still in the back. We've got the Protect to Scout for the first impression, and we're faster than it. So let's just go for the Leaf Blade. Strong hit. 130 base attack, adamant, sharpness boosting it. So let's see what we can cook. Withdraws. Okay. We're forcing switches today. Goes out in a Twizzy. That's the Azelf. I don't think Azelf wants this. Yeah, I don't think Azelf wants this. It does not. All right. All right. That one was a threat. That one was a little bit of a problem for me, if I'm being honest. Because once the Dark type went down, if it was just Scarf Psychic type, like, I feel like that was, that might have been it for the boys back home, you know? All right, what you got for me? Slitherwing comes in. Okay. So we're going to go for Protect Scout here. You also take Spikes damage. Beautiful. Let's check. Let's check. Do you have the first impression? You just got the U-turn. Okay, so you're Scarf likely then, right? So we're gonna sack Hisui and Samurott here. I'm gonna play this like it's Scarf then. Samurott dies to Skarm's Spikes. Okay. Now the question is, yeah, I want to say this is Gardevoir coming in now. I want to say this is Gardevoir and just like Moonblast. Yeah, it's going to do quite a bit of damage. It's going to do quite a bit of damage, but Moonblast is going to pick up a KO on the other end, too. Which I'll take. But I think Scarf U-turn might actually win the game. We're going to play like it doesn't. Ooh, yep, okay. Yep. I want to believe that is fully Scarf U-turn. In comes Goldilocks Primarina. Gardevoir KO's Primarina with Moonblast. Beautiful. Okay. I'm trying to think. How do we beat Scarf U-turn in the end here? Because I imagine it's Scarf and it'll still outspeed Jolteon too. In comes Slitherwing. Yep. Okay. Yep. I mean, you keep taking the spikes damage. So I'm locked into Moonblast here. There's the U-turn again. We get initiative here though, which is great. If Thundy comes in, I think we go Jolteon. And if Chien-Pao comes in, I think we go Infernape. Like, that's the play there. Surge Surfer would have been great. Surge Surfer would have been great over Sharpness. Hindsight's 20/20. I was thinking about it. I was like, Sharpness just puts in so much damage, but that Surge Surfer is going to be great. Honda comes in. Okay. Oh. Okay. We're going out into Infernape here. Now I've got the Mach Punch. Well, the Vacuum Wave, technically. Withdraws. I should have gone for a Fire Blast. Should have gone for a Fire Blast. Focus Blast, technically. This was the best overall mid-ground, was Thundy here. Yeah, that was the best overall mid-ground for him to make. I'll go for a Gunk Shot. In case you U-turn on the Iron Leaves coming in. We'll see. We'll find out. We'll have fun. It'll be great. Oh, I'm faster than you. Oh, you are bulky Thundy. Okay. Thundy KOs Infernape with Thunder. Okay. So we'll go into Jolteon here. We'll go into Jolteon here. And just Thunderbolt. Right? If Ape was faster than you, Jolteon's faster than you. Yep. Okay. All right, it's going to be down to a 1 or a 2-0 at the end of the day. Because it's not... It's Scarf Slitherwing, right? Like, that's how he's been playing it the whole time. It's Scarf Slitherwing. He has to know I'm Sharpness, too, right? He might not know, because the only... I don't know. I don't think I would have killed Azelf from where it was at if I wasn't. Would he know? How's he going to play this? Because I've got the terrain back up. If I wasn't Sharpness, he might not know. Or you could just not be faster than me right now. You could do that, right? You can do that. You're pretty slow. Close combat locks into close combat. Okay. Slitherwing KOs Jolteon with CC. Okay. Yep, it's going to come down to... I guess it's going to come down to... Do I take this thing down, or do I take down the... or do I take down the Chien-Pao? And I think either way, even at -1... Like, close combat doesn't kill me. Oh, actually, Tinted Lens? Hold on. It might. Oh, yeah, close combat does. I mean, I'll go for the Leaf Blade either way. If I live that, nope, comes down to a 2-0 Slitherwing. Slitherwing putting in some of the finest of work right here. In what is undoubtedly the best week 1 of this league that you'll ever watch. But GG's to Nexus. That was a great game. I really enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun. It was fun putting together the team and kind of thinking about it as it went on. So hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. This was definitely an experience for me, but I had a lot of fun and I hope you guys enjoyed. Go subscribe to Nexus. Check out his channel. Link will be in the description as always. Leave a like if you've enjoyed. Subscribe for more Draft League content. All that being said, I want to remind you guys to be great and do great, and I'll see you guys next week for game day. Later.